This is the first drone video I've done in years. I mean, since 2021, which is pretty much when I last flew my DJI Mini 2. The Neo is going to change all that. Here are 21 things I think you need to know before you buy a DJI Neo, which I did with my own money because I think this might be one of the hottest sellers for the rest of 2024, and it's a lot of fun. Yes, the reason I'm making a video now is because DJI just released the Neo. Now, when I saw this was being released, I actually jumped on my Mac straight away because I knew this was going to sell out quickly in New Zealand. Because this is a small country and we don't get a lot of stock of new products when they first come out, and they can be on back order for months. Luckily, I got one because they're now sold out. I'm even going to have to wait to receive my spare batteries and charger, but I made a mistake here. So stay tuned and I'll tell you what you need to look out for so you don't make the same mistakes as me. Now, this will not be a full review. There are loads of those out there already, but this is my real first impressions video. So let's get into these 21 things you need to know, some good and some things to be aware of. This thing is a lot of fun. When I first got it going, after I activated it, after updating the DJI Fly, which had not been used for such a long time, that app on my phone, and then the firmware on the drone, it just jumped into life as soon as I hit the button. And it just does what it says it will do, and it's a lot of fun. But just keep your expectations in check. It's not a pro level drone. In fact, it's quite hilarious that people are already wanting a pro level version of this drone. It's mad, really. Just enjoy it for what it is. And if it's not for you, then I'm sure something better will be along in a while, or just look through all the other drones that are available. So who is this for? Well, the DJI Neo for me, I think is a vlogging drone. It's ideal for capturing everyday life, your leisure activities, your family moments, and your pets too. If you need a portable drone to instantly capture your travel, camping, cycling, skateboarding, hiking, or memories of your family days, outings, and special events, then I think the DJI Neo could be the perfect choice. But like I said, it's not a pro drone. It's designed for regular folks and content creators who want a no fuss, quick to deploy, easy to learn drone that you don't have to think too much about. It also seems pretty robust. And if you do end up losing it, comfort yourself that you didn't drop the best part of $1,000 on it. Just a couple of $100 US for the drone and nothing else. And for many people, they don't need the fly more combo. That's all they want and need. Next up, let's go through the multiple control methods you can use to control your Neo. First, you can just deploy the drone autonomously with nothing except pressing buttons on the drone, which is so fast and quick, it's great. Okay, we're gonna start with just doing it from the app, and then I'll try a few with just actually no, let's just try it from here. Okay, let's go. I've set it with the app. I wanted to just set some of the settings in terms of height and distance away from me, but circle, spotlight, direction track, follow, droney. Okay, let's just do droney shot from out here and we'll just fly away from me. Okay. Got to take the gimbal protector off. Elementary mistake. Okay, here we go. Okay, it's just a 4 meter, and now it's going to come back to me. Awesome. Here's a tip for you. Open up the app and change the settings such as the height, you want to set the drone at and how closely you want it to follow you, and the Neo will remember those app settings for the next time you deploy it. Next, you can control it using the DJI Fly app on your phone, which gives you a live feed of what the drone is seeing. And you can change those settings, and you even have virtual sticks to take control of the drone and fly it that way too, which is neat. Next up, you can use a traditional remote controller to control the drone, but that does add to the bulk of the whole thing. But there are certain things you can only do with a remote controller, and only certain remote controllers will work. I'll come back to that. You can use the DJI goggles and controller and fly in FPV mode. I've never done this, but if that's what you want to have a crack at, well, you can with the Neo. And you can have full manual access too if that's something you're itching to do. If you're an expert flyer and want to put the Neo through its paces, well, that's what manual's for. Let's run through the preset modes you can trigger from the drone itself, no app required. 5 modes plus 3 customizable ones. Let me show you what the Neo can do.
Okay, this time I'm going to go rocket, straight up. Doing pretty well, it's pretty stable because there's hardly any wind out here and it's going straight up. 6 meters and now it's on its way down. Here it comes. Took a while to find my hand, but it got down eventually. Okay, so the X4 has decided that it doesn't want to work, so I'm back on the Go 3S. What I had just done then was on Spotlight. What I haven't mentioned is an extra tip here for you, is that you can record audio with this drone. If you've got a DJI Mic 2, or you can actually just record off the microphone of your iPhone or whatever phone you're using, and it will automatically suppress the sound of the drone rotors so that you can actually vlog a little bit with it as well. Let me just give that a little bit of a try in Spotlight mode and we'll see how that works. You do actually have to control it from the app in order to do that. This is me just with Spotlight mode using the microphone as a on the iPhone as a way of me controlling, speaking to the drone. Let me just spin around here and you'll see this car coming past as well. I wonder how well it did with suppressing that sound too. All right, this is me a little bit further away with the mic. I'm sure it should be able to kind of like keep that sound going. I'm still within range and it's just staying there. It's just hovering and looking at me and making sure it's keeping me front and center. So we'll see how stabilized that is. But it is actually a really still day here today. It's not bad at all. And the sun is directly above me. All right, let's stop that right there. Oh, this seagull might take it out. Okay, I'm back on the Go 3S again. There's a seagull that's turned up that's really not very happy. But anyway, I'm going to try the follow, and hopefully this seagull doesn't take me out or my drone.
Follow.
Right.
Medium. Follow. 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so it's getting in position. It's going a little bit high. I'm going to start walking. And yeah, it's following me, I think. Let's see if I can see it following me. I can hear it following me, that's for sure. Yeah, I don't think those seagulls are particularly happy about it though. Right, let's stop here. Don't want to run into these people.
Here's another mode that you want to know about. For that 6th slot in the presets, you can trigger from the drone itself. If you trigger the follow mode, the Neo will follow from behind you. If you wanted to film your face as you move forwards and it flies backwards, what you want is direction track.
There we go. This time we're on direction track. Let's get it going.
Close. Direction track. 3, 2, unable to take off. Aircraft in motion. Close. Direction track. 3, 2, unable to take off. Aircraft in motion.
Doesn't like me shaking my hand.
Close. Direction track. 3, 2, 1.
Just trying to get my hand out of the way of the propellers. So let's see how well this does. Oh yeah, it's finding its kind of like track in front of me. It's not doing too bad here. It's kind of like at head height. I probably should have set it a little bit higher. I'll just get away from these puddles and hopefully this seagull stays away from me. Right, let's stop here. Let's get it to come back to me. Hopefully, yeah, look, oh, come on in. Come on, yeah. Here we go. Took a while. So that was actually quite funny. That was somebody who just kind of like came up to me and said, where's your remote controller? And I said, it doesn't have one. Or at least you don't have to have one. I'm just trying to confuse the drone a little bit and see what happens. I'm still managing to kind of like follow me. It's kind of overcorrecting a little bit when it's trying to figure out where I'm going. But yeah, let's just stop here. And then I'm just going to kind of like come backwards a bit and see if it kind of like follows me. Yeah, it can follow me. It's quite good. So yeah, he's very, very keen. I told him it's DJI Neo, and I told him It's just out here in New Zealand. Now, notice if I turn my back, I wonder if it'll fly around me to try and get to me again. No, it's just staying to the back of me. Okay. That's good to know though. What if I turn around like this? Will it swing around to come in front of me? No, not really. Anyway, yeah, he was very, very keen. So his wife wrote it down. DJI, you owe me a sail in New Zealand. All right, come on back.
Now the battery runtime is quite short. It's supposedly a max of 18 minutes, but it's actually enough because you're not messing around with the controller so much. You just choose your mode, deploy, and it's done. You get 22 gigs of internal storage, but no SD card slot in the Neo. The good news is that you can offload your footage with zero battery. You don't even have to have it connected. Offload your footage and you're ready to go again, and you're going to be able to maybe get 40 minutes of 4K footage. Yes, you can record video at 4K 30 frames per second max. You can get 1080p at 60 frames per second, but the quality will be lower. So you pick which suits you best. Me, I can't resist a bit of slow motion. It may help with getting a more stable clip if the wind is a little high too, because this thing is light at 135 grams and can get buffeted around with the wind. It can struggle in anything more than about 8 meters per second, and it might lose you a little and not center you as well as it could. It could get a bit jerky, and it's also more likely to happen if you're not using a controller. You can easily use the Neo indoors, but watch out because it doesn't fly great in low light indoors from other videos that I've seen. I've also seen a few videos of it struggling in big changes of light too. Here's a cool thing. It can track anything. People, animals, you can set what you want to track on the app. Now here's an issue that I've picked up. Over sharpened video. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like you can do much about it on the DJI Fly app on your phone. And you can't fix an exposure lock either to help with blown out skies. You need a compatible remote controller to do that at the moment. Who knows, it might get updated with a firmware update. Now speaking of remote controllers, don't make the same mistake I did. I have a Mini 2 and I assumed that the remote controller I got for that in the Fly More package would work with the Neo. It won't. It's too old. Now DJI has a list of controllers that do work, and that might change if there are firmware updates rolled out, but I'm not holding my breath. So if you really need a controller to access these better settings, maybe think about that when choosing between just getting the drone or getting the Fly More combo. But here's the thing. The Fly More combo is almost double the cost of the drone, which comes with one battery. Now I did buy another couple of batteries and the charger too, so I can max out my flying time, but they're on back order and they won't arrive before I set off on my travels this weekend. But you know, you pick what suits you best. But the low cost, minimal setup of this drone is, I think, what's attractive about it. Once you add a controller, well, it kind of takes away from the fun a little maybe. I mean, just deploy it and you're ready. It's too much fun, just like that. Now I'm going to try it out in some other environments, like a hike in the woods soon, but there are some creators who have done that to see how well it performs. And here are a few tips, like maybe setting the height from which it follows you at the high setting, so it doesn't get caught up in the bushes that might be at head height in the landscape that you're hiking in. Now there appear to be some issues about how well the Neo copes with flying over water and over drop-offs.
All right, so I'm out of battery now, but I got all the shots that I needed, and that actually worked really, really well. I was really impressed with it. The only time is that sometimes it drops height. I did just do a circle, and it just clipped a little bit of grass because it ended up being about a meter and a bit lower than where it started at the end of the circle. But then that's also because, if you see behind me here, there's a little bit of a drop off. So I think maybe it lowered down as it went over that drop off. And then when it came back up again, it didn't go back up again. It stayed at that height. So that's something that you need to watch out for. When you're going over drop-offs, it is going to lose height. And I have read something about that. More on that in a minute.
In fact, some people are upset because the promo videos from DJI shows exactly these kind of environments, and the Neo appears to be coping just fine. Now, reading between the lines and watching some videos about this, it appears that when flying the Neo in autonomous mode or using the DJI Fly app alone, this has problems with the sensors, meaning that flying lower than 6 meters over reflective still water could be a terminal problem for your drone, and sharp drop-offs over land are a hazard too. Now, I'm gonna research and try and get more information on this, but I reckon if you're gonna fly over these kinds of terrain, using a remote controller to help the Neo get better environmental information through the GPS system might be wise. And do your research and stay tuned for firmware updates and creators posting their experiences in these environments with the Neo. Now here's a great bonus tip for you if you're wondering how you're going to carry it around and protect it. It's actually quite robust looking, but you know, just in case. Well, I found an early version of this case on a 3D printing site, and I found out that my local library service also has a 3D printer service. So I sent the file for the print over to them, and they did it for just $8.80 New Zealand overnight. That's about $5 US, which is a bargain. I'll leave the 3D print file link in my video description. What do you think? Is this a drone that you'd like to get? Do you have one already? Or will this be your first one? I'd love to hear what you think in the comments, and here's my next video. See you there.